Shalom. My name is Yedan Yasharal, and I'm with IsraelitesGathering.com. And the topic of discussion today is, when does a calendar day start? Now, we know in most modern countries, the calendar day begins at midnight, which is confusion, halfway through the night, 12 a.m. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but this tradition. Now, what we're going to take a look at is, according to our Bibles, looking at Torah, when the day starts according to creation and how Yah's order was. So we're going to start in Genesis chapter 1, and we're just going to look at, start at the first 5 verses and see this order that was created, showing us when a calendar day starts. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1 reads, "In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." So in the first 3 verses, we see clearly that darkness was upon the face of the deep. So the earth was created and there was darkness first. So if we look at the Hebrew word that was translated to darkness, the Hebrew word that was used is hoshek, which is the Strong's number H2822. And hoshek means the dark, hence literally darkness. Now, figuratively, it's misery, destruction, death, ignorance, sorrow, wickedness, but it's basically darkness, night, and obscurity. So the earth was created in darkness. Darkness came first. So if we continue reading, we'll see further witness that darkness came first. So we go to verse 4. It says, "And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day." So the darkness, which we just got that Hebrew word hoshek, he called night. But the light he called day. But the light came after darkness was already here on the first day. So further witness, it says, "And the evening and the morning were the first day." So the evening and the morning, that's the order. Darkness came first. Then he said, "Let there be light," and it was light, the morning, and that gives the first day. So the question is, well, did the day begin because of light? When the light came, did that begin the calendar day? Did it start there? Well, if we read further down to Genesis chapter 1, verse 16 through 19, we'll see that the sun and the moon weren't even created yet. So the light that he's speaking about in Genesis chapter 1, the beginning, he's talking about a different type of light. Because we'll read right here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 16, it says, "And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the 4th day." So the sun and the moon weren't even created until the 4th day, but yet the day is still being reconciled. So we didn't have to wait for sunlight or a sunny day or the morning to come for a day to start, because we see here clearly the darkness, hoshek, he called night. And then you have the evening and the morning were the first day. And then when we go down to when the sun and the moon was created, it gives you the same reconcile in verse 19. "And the evening and the morning were the 4th day." So we're going to take a look at some simple precepts regarding the Torah and the law. And the first one we're going to look at is, you must pay the laborer for his work the same day that he worked. That's the law. That's righteousness. That's Torah. Obviously, that's not how most jobs operate today, but that's how the law was. So if we look at when a day starts, then it will explain this precept here. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 14 through 15. You shall not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of your brethren or of your strangers that are in your land within your gates. At his day you shall give him his hire. So you have to pay him the same day that he works. Neither shall the sun go down upon it. Now, why that's important is because when the sun goes down, it becomes the evening. Now you're stretching into a new day. So you can't allow the sun to go down without paying the laborer for his work that he did during that daytime, or else you'd be paying him the next day. So unless a day begins in the evening at sundown, then this precept would not make sense. So the next thing we're going to look at is the Day of Atonement, which is the holiest day of the year, the most set apart day of the year. And we all know that it's a day of atonement, not days of atonement. So if we look at the commandment on how to keep Yom Kippur, we'll see clearly that the day has to begin in the evening. So in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27, it says, also on the 10th of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement, Yom Kippur. So Day of Atonement is the 10th day of the 7th month. So if we continue reading, it says, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even, from even until even shall you celebrate your Shabbat. You keep your Shabbat from even to even. So even of the 9th begins the 10th day and it goes all the way to that following evening because the new day would start. That's how you keep it a day of atonement. Now, if the day started in the morning and it's an even to even convocation, then you would have multiple days of atonement because it starts at even. So if it starts at even, which is the even of just say the 10th, because it has to be on the 10th day, the even of the 10th day after the evening will come the morning. And when the morning comes, you would be in another day. So that wouldn't be even to even. So that would be days of atonement. That's contradictory. Now we know Yah is not the author of confusion. So the day could not start in the morning or else you'd have days of atonement. All right, so the last precept we're going to look at is with King David. In his prayers, David prayed 3 times a day, according to this psalm right here. And in this psalm, he gives the order of the day to show that he prayed at each interval of the day. So if we go to Psalms chapter 55 and verse 17, it says, evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. So King David himself is giving you the order of the day, the intervals in the evening, the morning, and at noon. So he's covering all those intervals. So again, that's all we're going to do today. My name is Yedan Yasharal. I'm with IsraeliteGathering.com. If you would like to watch any further of our Bible studies or see any further information, you can visit us again at www.israelitesgathering.com. Thank you for your time. Shalom.